Alright guys, so to get this job done, this is what we're gonna need. So for tools, I'm gonna need a 17 mil and a 32 mil sockets, ratchets. I'm gonna need an oil filter, which will be linked in the description along with the oil that I use. I love liquid moly and I use it over the BMW genuine oil for a reason. So let's get started. Needless to say, you want to raise your car a little bit so you can just scroll under to get the drain plug. I use these platforms for the SUV that work out quite great. Of course, for my M4, I have to do all kinds of sort of other stuff to raise the car, but these work really well for the SUV. If you don't have it, no big deal. You can either one, crawl right under, or just jack up the car a little bit. First thing you're gonna want to do is you want to undo the oil cap, set it somewhere safe. Then next you want to cover up the area that you're working in. I've been doing oil changes for like 20 years and I spill it every single time, so trust me, no way around it but to cover up your working area. Get your 17 mil socket ready and let's drop the oil. Alright guys, so this little window right here is where your drain plug 17 millimeter bolt is located. I already loosened this up, so now we're gonna go ahead and drop the oil. And then you'll see what I mean. It's just gonna go everywhere, guys. Whew. See, boom, right there. That's why I need to cover it up. And then while the oil is draining, I'm gonna go ahead and get my oil filter out. All right, to get to the oil filter, we're gonna have to move this out of the way. It just slides out like that. And then there's a little clip right here. And then you can let it sit right there. Take the engine cover out, it just pops right off. It's sitting on these clips. And then set that aside. And now, as you guys can see, you have a much better access to the oil filter housing. Set this slider right here. Oops. Now what I do is I use a chair to get in there, get that light in there, and using your 32 mil socket, you should be able to easily turn this now. Trust me, there's like, oops, this thing is running away from me. There's no other way to get this done but to use a socket to get in there. Alright guys, next we're gonna go ahead and swap out the oil filter just by pulling it upward. I typically just reuse the bag so the stuff doesn't go anywhere, and then throw it back in the box so I can safely dispose of it later. And put the new one in just like so. And then as you can see, we need to swap out this gasket right here, which they give you a new one for the filter and the drain plug. So what I typically do is I use a small flathead screwdriver to easily pop that off. And then reinstall the new one very easily, like so. And then for the drain plug, the old gasket just comes right off like so, and the new gasket is on. Now I can get in there and hand tighten the oil filter, and then torque it to spec. Alright guys, so I got that oil filter tightened to spec 25 nanometers with the torque wrench. If you don't have one, it's okay, just tighten until it's like very snug. Alright guys, next we're gonna reinstall the drain plug. And I typically don't use a torque wrench, just get it nice and snug and then do maybe like 1/8 of a turn. Right there is good. Don't over tighten. This is a aluminum and you can strip it real easily, so just very little pressure. Last but not least, we're gonna pour 6.86 quarts of new oil. Be careful, don't spill, take your time. Alright guys, so I typically put 5 quarts of oil in first, then I want to get the car nice and level and up to the operating temperature, and then I want to start checking my oil level, because it really depends, you know, how much oil you really drained. Some people can drain it all, some people might not be able to drain it all. It depends really on the situation. That's why online you see really it ranges how much oil to put in, anywhere from like 6 to 7 quarts. So what I do, I start with 5, then I keep adding until I reach my normal level. You don't want to overfill it, that's for sure. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and check the oil status. So you want to go to car, vehicle status, engine oil level, engine oil measurement, and then we're gonna wait until it is up to an operating temperature so we can start the measurement. See, it won't let you start until it is up to the operating temperature. Alright guys, so the car finally reached its operating temperature. We're gonna start the engine oil level measuring. Typically takes maybe a minute or two. Alright, so as you can see, we're at the min mark. So this is where I'm gonna go ahead and add a full quart and then redo it. Alright guys, so I actually ended up adding 1.5 quarts of oil after I added 5. So 6.5, and look, boom, it is perfect. That's why I say only add 5, then add another quart, then add another half, because everyone drains their oil differently, so you don't know. Don't put 6.86 or 7 quarts like other people say. Just add a little bit at the time and measure, check each time, and you're gonna be just fine. You do not wanna overfill it, trust me. Now we're gonna go ahead and reset the engine oil light. So what you wanna do is hit start 3 times. That should put the vehicle in a maintenance mode, and then you wanna hit the BC button and hold it. Hold it until an oil screen or service screen shows up. Right there. So that popped up. Again, that was by holding, let me get some light in there, BC button, so the top button here. Now you want to do is you want to hit the BC button again and hold it again. I would say that was about 10 seconds. So each time it changes, you want to let go of the button and then hold it again to confirm the reset. I would say it's about 10 seconds. Reset in progress, done. So now you can just let go off of it and you are good for 11,000 miles. You do you, but I like to not wait that long. I honestly change it not mileage wise, more of so time wise. So once every 6 months, so twice annually is when I change the oil on all my BMWs, and they have been running perfectly. Alright guys, and this is how you do an oil change on the BMW X5, G05, G06 and similar vehicles. If you don't mind, please hit the thumbs up on this video. It really helps the video to rank higher in YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do it so now. And as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.